so she can hear us.
I see.
There we go. We are live. Woo! How about that? I thought I was alive before, but now I know I am. So welcome.
No, we get
What?
wait for the thumbs up.
No
from
one will
Anna.
save this link. I can edit. Oh, yay. Never mind. It will be live on YouTube. All right. We got it figured out. Welcome to this beautiful little webinar series that we've been working on so hard on a regular basis. We're so excited you're here. And you say welcome in multiple languages, I believe.
Willkommen. Buenos dias. However you are
That means good
accessing
day.
this webinar, we're grateful that you made us part of your day.
That's right.
Turning lookers into listers.
That's right.
You
That's
know
what we're doing.
what Floyd says about lookers? Number one waste of time in real estate is showing homes to lookers. What's the difference between a looker and a buyer?
The ability, the willingness, motivation.
Show homes to buyers. Keep in touch with lookers until they become buyers. Yeah, when they check the boxes, they're ready, willing, able, loyal, all those boxes, you know.
Yep. And of course, Zig Ziglar, who was Floyd's mentor for 38 years, says, help enough other people get what they want, you'll always get what you want. And truly, our motivation is to help you get what you want. And so I would ask you, dear agents who are observing this video, what do you want? What do you want? So I know what you want is to earn an above average income, to earn a fair compensation for the work that you do. And what holds us back sometimes is we get frustrated, we get angry, we feel cheated by people who look and look and look and look and then never pull the trigger. And a lot of those folks, not just regular first-time buyers, but buyers that are moving from one property to another. Many, many, many of them have a home to sell before they can make that move. So that's what we're really all about today.
You mentioned Zig's quote, you can have anything in life you want if you have enough other people get what they want. Well, sometimes people are going about getting what they want in a way that's not helping them, in a way that's hurting them. So we want you to be able to protect your clients from looking but never finding. That was the billboard of this webinar. And protect your clients from overpaying when they buy and underselling when they sell. And protect your business from the domino effect. If you've ever noticed, when people get involved in a contingent transaction, it's subject to this or subject to that. And then another one gets tacked onto that. And then the people who are involved in that get tacked onto it. And all those three or four can fall apart.
Yeah,
just
that's
because
true.
the first one doesn't come to pass, to fruition.
So this is sort of like a timing thing. Like you know when to start and when to finish and what order to do things in, right?
Sure. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them.
Didn't you have something happen on your flight home from Business Bake?
Yeah, coming through Nashville, I went down to the longest, furthest away from the area concourse, which had 3 flights all at the very end stuck together. And they were all going to Southern Florida from Nashville.
Okay.
And I counted 42 wheelchairs full of people.
No kidding. 42?
Yeah, I thought I'd wandered into an assisted living facility or ER or something. But then I started thinking about the folks in those wheelchairs. And, you know, they have to get wheeled onto the plane first before they even pre-board. They put the people in wheelchairs on. That is
pre-boarding, I think.
Yeah. And then they have to wait at the end of the flight for everyone else to get off before they get helped off.
Right.
It's really inconvenient. And it reminded me of some of those people who go about trying to find their next home, doing it in a way that's inconvenient.
That doesn't work. That's not to their best advantage. So help people make good decisions, do it the right way and in the right order, and you will be the benefit as well. You will be the recipient of great benefit.
Now, are there lookers out there who have to buy but have to sell before they can.
Of course. Yes.
NAR says that's 70% of the people who are looking. They can't buy till they sell what they have. Their equity is, quote, frozen, right? Now, there are some people who can arrange for bridge loans.
Sure.
There are some companies that have programs that will assist you in bridging. But
yeah, check your company out and see if they've partnered with an organization that offers that, because there's some pretty attractive programs out there right now. However, I don't know of one of them that is free. Do you?
Oh, yeah, they charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why is it that people who are looking but have to sell before they can buy have trouble finding? What's the psychological thing going on there? Because they are the fussiest, pickiest buyers ever.
Right.
I
think one thing they're thinking is, hey, and if we don't find the perfect house, and we don't, it's not like we have to move. There's really nothing wrong with our house, but we would like something bigger, smaller, in a different area, whatever. So they have a motivation for making the move, but there's not an urgency.
And you said the word perfect. That really describes what's stopping them
from
making a decision, because you can't find the perfect home. It's not out there.
Well, that's true. And you are fussier about what you're looking for when there's no urgency created. I always tell the story of the Altoffs that I worked with. They had a house in South St. Paul, and I was going to get the listing. Yay! I was a pretty new agent, and they wanted country, and of course not in a big budget. So they had a relatively inexpensive house, and they wanted to spend not all that much more. And so we went gallivanting. And I don't know if you've shown country property, the kind where there's a washer and a dryer up on blocks in the yard that no longer works, maybe a car or two. We saw some pretty rugged properties, and you had to drive a long ways to get to them. And as far as I know, they still live in the house, the original house that I met them in, because they looked and looked and looked and looked. And will we ever find the perfect thing? See, the thing is, if we had sold their property first with a closing date and a net sheet that they were happy about, half of the stuff they thought they had to have would have fallen right off the list. And they would have said, oh, we're so happy in our new property. We got all this land. This is great. They wouldn't have had everything on their list, but they'd have been happy. And I'd have been a hero, as opposed to the loser that was showing them the wrong house, and we might as well just stay.
And what else does Floyd say? Not just some of the time, but almost all the time. They don't buy the house they tell you they're looking for.
Right.
They buy the one you get them into that they get a good feeling for.
Yeah, don't lose that thought. I've never worked with any buyer that said, I want one of those houses where you walk in the door to a postage-sized landing, and then you either go up or down. I particularly like the fact that there's no storage in that floor plan. Now, I have seen a lot of those houses, and they don't all sit vacant. But yet I've never worked with a buyer, and I bet you haven't either, that said that's what they were looking for. That's what they buy because the price is right, the location is right, because the 2-story costs a little bit more, and so they settle.
Or they got that bedroom that can be their office.
Yeah.
That's really what they're buying.
Yeah.
For sure. So how often do you run into somebody like this? If you're out there full time, I would guess at least once a day.
Once a day?
Run into somebody who's looking.
I don't know.
Maybe you get an inquiry.
Once a week? Once a day?
Once a week?
Once a week could be 50 times in a year. If you could convert half of those into listings, could you use an extra 25 listings per year by learning a dialogue that would help someone who pretends that they're a buyer? See, because that's the problem, right? We believe them. They walk into our open house, they call an inquiry. Yeah, we're going to buy a house. Yeah, we're looking for a house. Yeah, we've been looking for 4 months. And in the rest of the world, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. But if a buyer, quote unquote, is saying, oh yeah, we're going to buy, we're a buyer, they might not be a buyer. They might be a seller. You don't want to waste time showing houses to Sellers, they have a house.
That's psychologically what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mama doesn't need two nests at once.
Okay.
So what's the Wickman way of turning lookers into listers? It's use a technique, use a tool, use a dialogue that he calls a hot button.
Right.
Now, what is a hot button? In its simplest form, it's an idea somebody once had. And they turned that idea into a visual and gave it a name.
Right.
In this case, the name is the buy-sell analysis.
Goodbye. So, no, you mean
No,
buy?
B-U-Y.
Oh,
yeah.
B-U-Y. All right.
That's the Wickman method. He created this idea. Let's analyze what happens when you buy and sell real estate. When the same couple or the same buyers have something to sell that they have to sell before they can buy, and we sit down with them and analyze the situation. That's how the name, the buy-sell analysis, came together. In other words, it's a way to handle a specific client or prospect's hesitation. Now, what are they hesitating? Why are people looking before they put their house on the market? Well, in some cases, it's because they're looking for perfection. But in other cases, it's they believe their house is going to sell so fast that they might run out of time.
Right. That's a good point.
Find what they want.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to be pressed into buying the wrong property because ours is sold. And by the way, ours is going to sell fast. And I mean, of course, because it's a great house.
So there is a hesitation that's attached to this thing called buying and selling with the same prospect. And what it will help them do is make a decision about which way to go about this.
Right. Because they already have a plan, right? Their plan right now is go find the right house, then buy it, subject to selling this house. And then as soon as they've found the right house, they'll put this house on the market and it'll sell fast. That's their plan right now. Now that plan is a broken plan and needs to be modified, and you're just the person to do it. So step one, you got to land an appointment to go over to their house. You know, sometimes we get these calls or these inquiries and we want to go show them something. That's not the plan. You're on the wrong plan too. What we got to do instead is get an appointment to do a listing presentation at their house. Show them the highest price analysis, do a net sheet so they know how much cash they have to walk away with to buy. And then we got to convince them that they're going about it in reverse. They're trying to put the wheelchair on last after everyone else is already seated. Okay. So what we got to do is reverse the order. The buy, sell is reversed then. So it's really the sell buy analysis.
To persuade them to make the right decision about what plan of action to take.
For their benefit.
Yeah. A decision, which by the way, if we leave it up to them, they're not going to make because they've already decided to go about it the wrong way.
Right.
But when we enlighten them and show them the shining path, they'll thank us for it later.
All right. Yes.
Yeah. And that's why we need hot buttons, techniques, dialogues, tools, if you will, to get signatures and to get sit downs and to get decisions to help people make the right move.
Yeah. So sit down, meaning you go to their house, do a listing presentation, do your comps, do your net, and then use the buy-sell analysis to convince them to list before they buy. Let's be super clear here. Your number one goal is to convince them to list before they buy. Okay? You're going to make more money. They're going to walk away with more money in their pocket. Let's prove it to them.
And your number one goal is to get them to sit down with you, to give you some of their time and attention.
Yeah.
In order to do that, you've got to give them something of equal or greater value. And that's where the buy-sell analysis comes in.
Okay.
Now, what's the best way to get more listing appointments? Well, have them bump into you. Have a looker who's really a lister. That's the best way to get more listing appointments without you having to make any more calls.
Right. Recognize that it's a listing opportunity rather than a buying opportunity. All right, let's get cracking on the good stuff.
It's a way for me to serve these people.
Right.
So let's pretend I meet him at an open house. And I ask my usual questions. What was it about this house that caught your eye? And gee, how long you've been looking for something like that? And who's helping you find it? And how many have you actually seen so far? And how come you didn't buy one of those?
We covered this on a different webinar.
We did.
Yeah.
But you got to know those questions and let them start the conversation, because eventually you're going to ask, well, do you own or do you rent? And if they own and they're out looking, well, congratulations. It must be sold already.
This is the congratulations, holy cow technique.
All
right.
It's
so
not holy cow. You might be costing yourself a small fortune. Gee, what kind of home is it? Where's it located? Oh, well, that's a relief, because we handle that. If you knew, are you familiar with our buy-sell analysis? What is it?
Well, wait, your sharp angle. You move right into the sharp angle. If you knew that you were losing money by buying one before yours is sold, would you want to hold on to the money? Well, what do you mean? Well, see, that's not an answer to the question. It's a yes or no question.
Right.
So you can't say, sorry, that's not the answer I was looking for. You have to just repeat the question. And if you're taking notes, this is the question you want to write down. It's called a sharp angle. If you've been with us on other webinars, you've heard us use this over and over and over again. This is a tool in your toolkit. If you knew, would you? If I could show you, would you? That's the way a sharp angle is created. So here's the sharp angle for the buy-sell analysis. If you knew you were throwing money out the window by buying one before yours is sold, would you be interested in holding on to the money? Now, I'm looking for yes. And in fact, unless they say yes, I do not proceed. Okay? Well, what do you mean? That's not a yes. So then you have to ask the question again. I haven't even seen your house yet. All I'm saying is, if you were to discover that you were opening a window and throwing tens of thousands of dollars out that window because you bought first, before your house was even listed, would it at least be worth talking to me? Would you be willing to get together with me? Would you give me an hour and a half to explain what I mean, show you the money, and then, hey, whatever you decide is up to you. So you can do the would you let me come over with any words that you want, but start with, if you knew you were losing money, would you? Okay? That'll get you the appointment.
Are you familiar with our buy-sell analysis? Well, you know what that is? That's a bird's eye view of how we protect our clients. We coordinate a sale and a purchase to prevent them from owning two homes at once, or ending up homeless, or running out of time trying to find what they want. Would something like that be of interest to you?
Sure.
And that's how you get the sit down with the sharp angle and the description of how the buy-sell analysis protects them. Okay?
All right. So we're going to presume now you've done this. You're at the house.
Yeah.
And you've done your listing presentation, because the net cash in their pocket has to be enough, or they've got enough savings, or they got enough cash to be able to buy, right? Like, that's the first thing. You know, what happens when they sell this house? What's the price? What's the net? Okay, now we've got that taken care of. Now I'm going to show you how you're going about it in reverse.
Now, the two caveats are nothing works all the time and nothing works for everybody.
Right on.
But these are the conditions under which this will work most of the time. And the
Right.
first is that they're not looking for an odd home. They're looking for a standard home. If you know that, and that they have to sell in order to buy, then you want to bring to the surface what their biggest fear is.
So let's stay on that first one. They're not looking for a dome home. They're not looking for something that appears in your marketplace once every 10 or 15
Superman's
years.
Fortress of Solitude.
Right? Like, so it may not be out there right now, but it will hit the market.
Yeah.
And so that's the first step that you've got to establish. And you will do that by asking a series of questions, right? To understand what it is that they're looking for. If it is something that's unique, well, then they better darn well sell their house, because they're never going to be able to buy that unique thing without doing that. If they're waiting for something that's unique, so is everyone else. Now, I remember that historical home neighborhood that I used to work in. So one out of every maybe 4 or 5 homes was historic. It was all in this particular area with this particular school So if you wanted that home, it wasn't on the market, maybe one a year, maybe one every 2 years. So how could you buy one of those if you still had a house to sell? There's no way. Only someone with cash could buy it. Only somebody that had already sold their home and was now living in a temporary situation was eligible to buy that. So I am not driving you around and hoping that you get to be one of those magical people. So are you with me? It's got to be a standard home. What was the second criteria?
Well, when I sold real estate in Buffalo, I remember somebody telling me they wanted to buy a Frank Lloyd Wright home.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I bet there's lots of those.
there's 6 in Buffalo.
Right.
And they sell once in a generation. So, yeah, if they're looking for something unique or eccentric or odd, this isn't going to work. And you want to bring their fear to the surface. Is it owning 2 homes at once? Is it being homeless? Is it running out of time or being under pressure?
Is it losing money?
So
there's the list of what they're.
What do we do? Floyd always loves that moneymaker. Let's pretend.
Oh, yeah.
Because people love to pretend. So what we're going to pretend is.
Hold on. This is the way Floyd taught this to me. Let's pretend. You're going to say what we're going to pretend at, but just a minute. So adults can pretend and it's safe. Let's pretend that we did it your way.
Yeah.
And then you lay out the step by step, and here's what would happen. And they see, oh my God, that's not what I want. So then they can make a better decision. That is such powerful material. Gosh, he's such a brilliant, the Duke of Dialogue. So yes, this dialogue begins with the words, let's pretend.
Let's play real estate, okay? We're going to go out and look, and let's pretend we find the perfect home. What are you going to do when we find it? Are you going to let it go to somebody else, or are you going to make an offer?
Well, we know what they're going to say. We're going to make an offer.
Sure. What would you do?
Wait. When you do the let's pretend, you also have to use emotion. So what did Floyd teach us? Logic and emotion. So you'll say, let's pretend we find the perfect home. It has, and you list all the things that they are looking for. It's got that first floor bedroom so you could turn it into a home office. It's got that big backyard for your 9 Dalmatians. It's close to the school that you wanted. So make it perfect. This is what you want. Would you buy it?
We're creating a picture. We're setting a vision for them.
Right.
Let's say we go out looking at houses and we see 3 together and then, okay. But the 4th one we walk into, oh, this is the one.
It's got everything you're looking for.
Oh, what would you do? Well, you'd probably make an offer, wouldn't you? Do you automatically pay full price for everything, or would you want to negotiate?
Well, I think we'd probably want to negotiate.
I would think so. Well, what would you offer and still be able to, I don't know, sleep at night?
Well, I mean, I would think in our price point, we want to come in at, I don't know, probably 40 grand less.
Okay. So now we've gotten a number from them, and that's important for you to write that number down on your talking pad or your buy-sell analysis visual.
And don't you give them the number. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Because they'll buy into this technique when it's their number, their information. So you are the probing person, and you'll say, how much less would you ask them to take? Write that number down.
Now, if you're in a hot market, like get in the Wayback Machine, go back 2 years or 18 months when listings got multiple offers in the first 10 minutes.
Some markets still are like that.
Yeah. Buyers would have to overpay. And here's why. Because they're asking you to do 2 things simultaneously that are really hard. And the first is...
Wait, now, what has the hot market got to do with it? I don't understand how that connects.
Well, just
I have to listen?
and I'll get there.
Fine.
Yeah. The first thing we have to do is sell the seller on accepting the buyer's price, on the one that you want it to offer. And the second thing is we have to protect you from owning 2 homes at once by making it subject to your ability to sell your house in a certain period of time. Now, in that hot market, you're competing against other offers, some of which are all cash, some of which are as is, some of which are waive appraisal and have escalation clauses. So if you're not negotiating for a lower price, then you're paying above asking in order to be competitive, because we have to have the contingency. I've got to try to sell the seller on two things simultaneously. Number one, accept what you want to pay. And number two, accept the fact that you can't buy it until you sell your house. Now, what are the odds we can get them to say yes to both?
Okay, let me simplify that.
All right.
Okay, so you're going to write an offer for $40,000 less. Do I understand you correctly, Mr.
Yes.
Palin? Okay, well, as soon as we write up that offer, Mary Palin and On Track Realty has two jobs. My first job is to go over there and convince that seller that they ought to take $40,000 less. With me? But I have a second job too, and my second job is to convince the seller or the seller's agent, I might never meet the seller, to take your contingency. Are you familiar with contingencies? What that means is we would write this offer contingent upon, subject to getting the first house sold, getting your house sold, because you didn't want to own both houses at the same time. Have I got that right? So convince the seller to take less, convince the seller to accept a contingent offer. Now, what do you think the odds are that any seller is going to do both of those things?
Well, let's pretend that the listing agent has the gift of gab, the silver tongue, charisma, personality plus, and they can get the seller to say yes to one of two things.
To one of the two. Yeah. What do you think the odds are there? See, look at my answer. Nah, it's not going to happen. So you can't say, so what do you think the odds are? They can get them both done, because they're going to say, well, pretty good odds. So your tone, this is like acting school, right? So the question is, what are the odds that someone's going to do both of those things? Right. And the answer is in my face and in my voice, in my expression. What do I want? What do I want Mr. Palin to say? Not good odds. Let's say we could convince that seller to do one of the two things. Okay, he'll do one. He'll either take less or take the contingency. Well,
we have to have the contingency.
Therefore, he won't what?
Take less.
That means you just lost what?
$40,000.
You see how those questions all in a row get the seller who does not know this dialogue to answer the correct answers.
But wait, that's not the worst part.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you know what they're going to ask for in return? Oh my gosh.
Well, that's not hard. That's not hard to figure out.
Yeah.
Did you just look? You just threw 40 grand out the window, right? Because you couldn't negotiate on price because you had a contingency. And I love that line. Did you write that down? And that's not the worst part. Yeah. You know what the worst part is?
The position you put yourself in selling your house.
Now we got to come back and sell your house fast. Why?
Like record time.
Well, why? Because if we don't sell it quick enough, somebody else is going to come and take that great house that you've just chosen and buy it out from underneath you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if it's a great property, someone else is going to get a hold of it before your house is even sold. So we have to sell your house quick so that doesn't happen.
In most contingencies, there's a clause that says the seller can continue to market and accept other offers. And
so you have 0 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours. I don't know what is normal in your marketplace, but you don't have a whole lot of time to get your house sold. So what are we going to have to do to the price of your home to sell it quickly?
In almost every case, the people you're talking to, at least one of the two has worked retail at some point, either in a department store or wherever. Ask them, what did you sell? And if you had something you had to move out of the store real quick, what would be the only way to sell it fast?
Sure. Target has an extra load of paper towels. They got to get them sold quick. What are they going to do to the price? Lower it. Exactly. What are we going to have to do to the price of your house to make sure you don't lose the one you really want? How much less, Mr. Palin?
Yeah.
Give me a number.
Get that number.
Let's say he says 20,000. So now we've lost 40 in the fact that you can't negotiate. We've lost another 20
because we're in the discount clearance aisle.
And so together we've lost $60,000 by buying one
Mm-hmm.
before yours is sold. So here's my question for you. Would you be interested in holding on to the $60,000?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think they're going to say? Because I think they're going to say yes every time.
What if I could protect your equity and give you more time than you ever need to find what you want? Do both of those things.
Well, there's
What if I
only
could show you
one
how to do
way.
that?
Wait a minute. There's only one way we can do any of that. You know what it is? It's to list the house.
But here's what I'm going to do before I say that. I'm going to say, let's continue to pretend that I sold your house yesterday.
All right.
And now I won't because I'm not that fast. But let's pretend it's sold already. What are you and I going to do starting tomorrow, first thing, like real early in the morning? What would we be doing today?
Looking at houses.
Yeah, turning over every stone, looking for everything that's either on the market or going to be on the market or used to be on the market, off-market properties. We talked about that in another webinar. If we did that, how much time would you need to be comfortable that we could find what you want?
Oh, you want me to role play with you?
Sure.
Well, I don't know. We've been looking on Zillow for the last 6-8 months and haven't found one yet.
Okay. Have you seen any homes live and in person?
Well, 3 or 4, yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to leave no stone unturned. We're going to go out looking. How much time would you need? Extravagant.
Listen, push pause for just a second. Do you notice he asked a question and I didn't give him the answer he wanted. He said, how much time do you need? And I went, well, I don't know. So you got to get a date out of these folks. And some of them will not answer the question the first time you ask it. So what did Michael do? He asked a couple more questions and then he went back to his original question. So be extravagant. How much time, how long do you think it would take if we left no stone unturned? If there's a lesson within the lesson, which is always
there
Wickman,
always are,
yeah, then it's when a salesperson asks a question, a salesperson gets an answer, not a, well, I don't know, but an answer. So one more time, ask me the question, darling.
So if we left no stone unturned, and we looked at what's on the market and what's off the market, and what's going to be on the market, what used to be on the market. We just went everywhere you could possibly look. How much time would you need to feel comfortable that we'd be able to find it?
2 months.
Okay. What if I could give you 4?
Well, I'm sure we could find one in 4 months.
Yeah. And because if we can't, they'll take my license away. Yeah. So if I could show you how to keep all your equity and have all the time you need and only have to move once, would you be interested in knowing what the secret sauce is?
Sure.
Yeah, because there is only one way we can do all of that, and that's list with me. Trust me to coordinate the closings so you don't end up homeless or paying for 2 homes at the same time.
Okay.
And I can promise you'll never be homeless and you'll only have to move once. And it all begins with one thing. Let's get your home on the market.
Wow. That was beautiful. Yeah. I love it.
I'm well trained.
I know. This is a dialogue that you learned if you were in a Floyd Wickman program. Maybe you role played it that day and haven't looked at it since. Maybe you've looked at it since and never mastered it completely. Maybe you didn't ever participate in a Wickman program. I think of all the dialogues that Floyd invented, this is the most complicated one.
I have a question for you.
And I think it's the one that will make you the most money and will last your entire career. Listen, it is so totally worth it for you to really work at learning this. I did. You did. Well, you're fast at learning.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not. I had to work really hard at learning.
You're saying to yourself, how am I going to learn that dialogue? Well, do you spend any time in the car? Do you spend any time cleaning the house, working out, taking a walk, meditating? Well, turn downtime into learning time. What's the mother of skill? repetition is the mother of skill.
That's a cool phrase.
Repetition
is the mother of skill.
When you hear this over and over and over and over and over, so many of my students have said, my children know Floyd Wickman dialogue because I was listening in the car.
That can be dangerous to teach your children.
Yeah. When you hear it enough times, you're going to find this happening. You'll open your mouth and Floyd comes out. That's just the way it works. The repetition will build into you the memory and give you access to that dialogue in the moment.
Therefore, and to that end, we created a product. And I don't think we were going to do a commercial, but we got to do a commercial because if you're going to learn this, you got to hear it over and over. So we created the Vault. Mm-hmm. If you've never heard of it, get to our website. It's on the toolbar, it says the Vault, V-A-U-L-T, the Vault. And inside the Vault is everything Floyd ever recorded and a bunch of stuff that Michael and I recorded and some event stuff and all kinds of cool stuff.
All the resources you need to become a skilled salesperson.
Audio, visual tools. And here's the cool thing. We're already paying for Paramount movies and for, like Spotify so you can listen to music. And how much money
is less than Netflix, for Pete's sake. Did you know that?
How much money is it actually costing you to pay for monthly subscriptions that don't make you money? This will make you money. And you don't have to sign up for a long-term subscription, 1 month at a time. So even if you just did it for 1 month, but learned the buy, sell, because you listened to it 300 times, it'd be worth it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So check it out. But please commit to doing this for your family. Commit to doing this for your income, that you will learn the buy, sell analysis. Go out and get those listings and sell to those sellers who become buyers only after their houses are sold.
Commit to learning this to protect your clients.
Yeah.
There's your lifeblood in your business, is your client relationships.
Thanks for being with us today. Oh, end stream.